What is up, world? Welcome back. WG episode 9, right?
Number 9, baby.
We're back. The normal three are back. Zach Nichie is back.
Hello.
And he brought a friend this week, Josh Knapp. Welcome aboard, my friend. Or welcome back, I should say. You've been on before.
Season debut, yeah.
Happy to have you all with us today, as always. Adam.
Dante.
And Luke. Maybe a bit of a shorter episode than last week, but
That's okay.
that's
I'm
all
on
right.
a time crunch, so.
I don't really have to talk about my team because we were on bye, other than the fact that I'm excited to see Thomas Brown's debut as OC this week against the Texans.
You
Yeah.
better believe, though, I am going to have some things to say about those Patriots.
Oh, man.
Sure you will.
Here we go.
We can get into that, though, but
I'd also off topic
Yeah.
like to apologize to the Phillies fan base for saying on last week's episode we can definitely sweep the Diamondbacks. Or
Hey,
maybe
I said that
it's
too.
on there with Dante.
Adam, I said
I
I
said
thought
that,
they
so-
were going to sweep them.
Sorry for jinxing y'all.
Enjoy retirement, Christopher Russo. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My dog.
Yep. Anyways, who wants to get into their team first? Steelers.
let's start getting into
Lions,
next week's
Pats.
to last week's games. I can start. Any of you can start. Doesn't really matter. I can get it out of the way.
Just get it out of the way. Let's
Get it out of the way.
my misery.
Dude, before you guys joined,
Save that for last. Yes.
Yeah.
Save that for okay. 100%.
No. Sure. Before you guys joined, I was talking to Dante, and I said something that I will stand by. I enjoyed last week's game more than I enjoyed certain Super Bowls.
Wow.
Last week was my Super Bowl. Buffalo comes to town. We haven't had a win in Gillette yet. I had no reason to think we were going to keep this game competitive. Everything had been going wrong for us for weeks, yet somehow everything went right the entire game, almost the entire game. Mac Jones, the one huge knock on him, he's been playing like crap. But even before that, everybody's huge knock on him was that he couldn't lead a game-winning drive. I don't know if the number was 0, but it certainly wasn't something he was used to doing. And the first 2 weeks of the season, it was something he failed to do, whether or not it was his fault, either way. A 2-minute drill after the Bills march down the field and score a touchdown, game-winning touchdown. Defense clutches up with 12 seconds left. I just couldn't believe my eyes. Everything went right that game, except for Mac Jones deciding to gritty. I hope he never does that again. But that win is going to stick with me for a very long time. And I said originally I wasn't going to let it affect my view on them going forward. Like I wasn't going to pick them this week. But hey, if Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert are out, I'll at least give us a shot.
I saw
So,
somebody
what's the
pick
deal with Tyreek Hill? Because Tua's talks yesterday at his press conference is like, talks about what happens if Tua's out, right? But then they don't say anything about the injury report. So
apparently it's like he is like a hip injury or something.
Okay.
Mostert has an
It
ankle.
is some injury that is keeping him out like from practices.
he'll
I
be
did-
fine. He'll be playing, I bet you.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine too. But
Yeah.
I think they're just hopefully just monitoring the injuries and being precautionary
Right.
on a Wednesday practice. It feels like.
yeah, I can only hope that they'll be shorthanded for our game because that's the only chance we're gonna have at beating them. But we had a chance of beating them week 2, and we just Kayshon Boutte couldn't stay in bounds. And we had a healthier secondary then. So I'll get into my thoughts leading up to the game's pick when we talk about next week. But I don't have much to say other than that was one of my favorite Patriots games ever.
Yeah, going into that game, I thought you guys would find a way to hang around, but I just felt like the Bills were going to pull away in that game. But I also was like in my gut, I'm like, this is like a game the Patriots could maybe steal if everything goes right for them, and that happened. And knowing the Bills, I was like, they've been so inconsistent to begin this year, probably the most inconsistent team in the league, the team that isn't playing to what we expected them to play. So it's once again a Bill Belichick coach team type of win that that type of game. When you think they're dead, they're not. And they played a great game, and Bill's got to do some soul searching. So
It's just I saw something funny on Instagram. It said Josh Allen's curse is that he's only as good as the quarterback he's facing.
he's the joyous Randall of the NFL.
Yeah.
Joyous Randall of the NFL.
We picked him off on his very first pass, set the tone. Jabril Peppers,
True.
maybe my favorite Patriot, maybe my favorite healthy Patriot. They couldn't keep up the entire game until they finally caught up to us. We were up 22-10, and then the Bills ended up taking the lead, and we marched down to the 2-minute warning. It was special, man. It was special. And I don't know if you guys saw the podcast clip from Patrick Chung had Rob Gronkowski on his show. And Gronk was like, I would have expected Gronk of all people to understand that he was like upset with the fact that we were celebrating so much. He was like, those guys look like they've never been there before. Like, it was unprofessional. Like, it's kind of pathetic we were celebrating that win so much. But then Patrick Chung came in with a slam dunk. It was like, it's a divisional win at home. It's our first home win, a win that we needed badly. It's just a different era for Patriot football. And the thing is, the one thing that's frustrating to me is if we're capable of playing that good, why did those 2 weeks happen when we lost 70-0 over those 72-3 over that stretch of 2 games? Why did those even happen? Because now I have to work up from that standard. Whereas if we had played competitively in those games and then went out and beat the Bills like this, I would have been saying, yeah, okay, maybe we'll be fine, even at 2-5. 1 in 5 teams have made the playoffs. It's not absolutely impossible, but the difference is because we got, for lack of better words, our asses handed to us those 2 weeks. Even though we beat the Bills, I don't know what it means going forward. Probably not that much. All I know is it was my favorite 2 hours of television in a very, very long time.
Yeah, they needed some sort of jolt or juice, this team, because they look bad. They look terrible. Everyone was saying like there was no hope for this team. And it was like, is this the year that Belichick, the Patriots, just say it's time to just tear it down and rebuild again? And just to have that type of game, just to get some sort of hope and positivity going in that building is huge, especially when you beat a team like that. And it may not be pretty at 2-5 right now, but you have something. You have something to hold on to and work for.
Something works that we have on tape now that we can look at and say, we beat a contender and this worked, and that's why it worked. And if we didn't win that game, I would be talking about how that morning a report came out that we gave Bill Belichick basically in whatever extension he wanted. We gave him an extension to where from how it sounds, it's until he retires or dies. But
I'm not wrong. I think it's until he dies, Ralph. And I think it's until he dies, Ralph. Yeah,
honestly, but
I bet the house on that.
So with everything against us, with fans' opinions turned, you guys know this. I was done with the Patriots this year. I had thrown in the towel. I had jumped on the Bill Belichick is his time is up narrative. I was ready to give up, but a win like that, again, it's very confusing for what it means going forward. I'm just going to take it in a roll.
Yeah.
If we can beat a team like that in that way at home, there's no good reason we shouldn't be able to compete with some of these other teams and at least string together a couple wins this season. Whereas I was certain we were going to be 1-7 after the next week. We might still be 2-6. The season might not amount to anything, but we don't have to pay Mac Jones this offseason. We don't have to blow it up. Even though we need to add some skill, it doesn't need to be an atomic bomb going off in the locker room, which I think right now is the best case scenario.
You have some thoughts?
All right, we can move on from the Patriots, but that's my 2 cents on last week.
Any Steelers thoughts? Because I'm
Dante, you want to go?
Move on to the Steelers game.
Well, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to my Pookie Bear, TJ Watt, for having another incredible game.
That's my D point. That's my
D point at NFL. It's not Myles Garrett, it's TJ Watt, but I won't get into that. Yeah, pretty slow start to this game. For first of all, thank you to Brett Maher for being ass. Just want to say that.
He got released. Yeah.
Two missed field goals, a missed extra point. That's
That-
7 points right there. You know,
That was the difference.
yeah,
That was the difference with it.
yeah. Final score was 24-17, and he missed 7 points worth of field goals and extra points. But yeah, it was a classic Steelers scrappy game. You know, coming up clutch in the fourth quarter. George Pickens and Deontay Johnson looking like a really good wide receiver duo. Kenny Pickett making great throws when he needed to, and we actually ran the ball pretty nice. You know, Jalen Warren and Najee Harris both got their first rushing touchdowns of the year, along with Kenny Pickett. On that first touchdown we scored on the QB sneak, and you know, what am I trying to say? Unusual yins are here. I'm gonna give credit where it's due to Matt Canada,
Yeah.
because that dude was cooking. He was making big play calls. Yeah. So I'm proud of him. However, if he, you know, shits the bed, I don't know why I'm swearing so much this episode, but if he shits the bed, you know, the chants are back on. And one last thing before I wrap up. Of all the analysts saying the Steelers were gifted this game, the refs were in favor of us, but I've heard people saying that we were gifted this game on the QB sneak. Did he get there? Probably not. But Sean McVay had no timeouts, unable to challenge.
Exactly.
And even if that was a turnover on downs, less than 2 minutes in the game, no timeouts on their side of the field against a stifling Steeler defense. I just feel disrespected that people.
I'm going to interject real quick. Do not doubt that man, Matthew Stafford, in under 2 minutes of clutch time. That man could have.
Do not doubt the Steelers defense.
I'm just throwing that out there. No, I mean, obviously,
no, I did not want to give the Rams the ball back.
You cannot
at that
give.
point in the game.
He is one of the best he's one of the best in football. I mean, I stand by that. He's looked great, but I got to give credit to where it's
put it in. I did not want to put it in the hands of Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua, who was absolutely
yeah, true.
And who knows what Cooper Kupp could have done on that drive if they did in fact get the ball back.
Exactly.
If it came down to that and we got a bullshit call just to win that game, then fuck it. That's what you got to do.
Self-inflicted
Exactly.
wounds, man. I mean,
Yeah.
missed field goals. You can't. It's just the basics. I mean, Cooper Kupp had 2 drops. Excuse me. Cooper Kupp had 2 drops at the beginning of the game. I mean, there are just a lot of mistakes on that side of the ball, and it helped. It helped the Steelers win.
Yeah,
and, you know, you got to take it for what it is.
It came down to the turnover battle. Rams had 2, we had none. Kenny Pickett had the ball security and the Rams didn't. And that's it. Don't matter like how many yards, the time of possession the Rams had. That's usually what these games come down to when they're this close, is who had the ball security and who won the turnover battle. And it was the Steelers who won it, and in typical Steelers fashion, they came out on top. And,
yeah. And sorry to interrupt, but another point is, if you let the 2023 Pittsburgh Steelers offense score 24 points on you, you don't deserve to win a game. Like, you don't deserve to win the game. You know, one of the worst offenses statistically in football, which they looked, you know, a lot better comparatively to, say, the 49er game and the Browns game. They looked like a competent offense that game, and it was very refreshing to see us actually move the ball, you know, and play with some heart. You saw Najee Harris get in the face of one of the Rams defenders. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that got me fired up. So yeah, I'm optimistic about this team. 4-2. I mean, I don't know how, but we're rolling.
Yeah, it's it's every Steelers year. They don't play up to what you want them to, and they somehow find themselves with a decent enough record right now.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, just going in that game, that first half, our defense was holding up well, but it was 9-3, and the offense wasn't looking that good. But at that point in the game, it was looking somewhat better. I said in the chat, I'm like, the offense don't look great right now, but at least we're staying out there for at least we get 1 first down right now, and we're not going 3 and out and having our defense come out on 2-minute rest and trying to hold them here.
Yeah.
But definitely when that second half started, after that TJ Watt pick, who read the field like a safety, and this dude's a freaking edge rusher, and he goes out there and just picks a ball off like he's done that 1,000 times before. That's where the switch flipped. The Steelers came out the aggressor in the second half, which I've been saying this whole year. Can this team be the aggressor for once?
Yeah.
Make the other team feel the pressure. And they went out there, scored on that QB sneak with Pickett. The defense didn't hold. The Rams scored, but what was great to see was the Steelers came right back down the field, about an 80-yard drive, which was an amazing drive, utilizing the middle of the field, running the ball, getting good blocks. The offensive line was opening up great holes. And another man who we hate here that I have to give credit for this game was Dan Moore. Dan Moore actually stood in there and played a good game. I'm not saying he should still be there. I still think it's Broderick Jones, and you can maybe move Dan Moore over to the right tackle, even though Chuks Okorafor had a great game. Everyone on that offensive line had a great game. But just to see what this offense can be when everything's clicking, the offensive line is blocking, open up holes to open up that run game, which then opens up the pass game for those plays, either George Pickens or Deontay Johnson over the middle of the field, which we've all been clamoring for on third downs. That's great to see. And just to see that they use that bye week, because they used that a lot last year when they went on that run, that the bye week really helped them. And you got guys back like Deontay, hopefully Cam Hayward. He seems close to be coming back, so that's going to be huge too for the stretch run. Just to see that offense just find some success and take something into next week against Jacksonville, which is going to be a huge game, a very evenly matched game. It's going to be close, and it's going to come down to the wire. Just to know that you can move, you have some confidence about moving the football. Momentum going into that week is huge, and right now as Steelers fans, that's all we can ask for, is just something that we can hold on to and be positive about, and to know that our QB comes to play in the second half, especially the fourth quarter and KP. Just know he has that clutch gene, and the ability to get it done when it matters the most is huge. And I just want to see a full game from him, because we see how good he can be. And if he can put that together for a full game or most of the game, this sky's the limit for this guy. And the defense stepped up. I liked some of the looks. JPJ was out there a lot. He should never leave the field. They were using Pat Pete in different ways, putting him back at safety, and which I love, because they were talking about that when we got him, and he's been great there. I feel like he needs to stay there. And who knows, maybe this team strings off a win here at the deadline. They could maybe make a move for someone. But I'm very pleased right now. But big game coming up against Jacksonville. Another game we're gonna learn a lot about this team. But just a gritty, grindy win, but definitely a lot of positives to take out of this game.
Yeah, it's all great thoughts on the Steelers.
All right, I give some thoughts. We were on a bye. There's not much to say. Knapp, though, got anything to say about those Lions?
I'm gonna keep it under one. I'm gonna keep myself to a minute here. I'm gonna start right now. So,
yes,
all right. So, 38-6. That's not good. I'm gonna basically start by saying this. I'll give you one statistic. 15-1. That is what Lamar Jackson was against the NFC before this game.
Now 16-1.
Yeah. Thank you, Zach, for reminding me that they are now 16-1. Nothing worked in this game. That first drive, they went down. I'm like, all right, you just got to come back from this. Come back, get a score, 3 and out. They go down, score again. I'm like, all right, come back, get a score, 3 and out. It just was a non-ending cycle. It was just shooting ourselves in the foot. Sloppy football. They weren't prepared. They weren't ready. It's disheartening. They are a very good opponent. They are a very, in a situation, especially in the Lions case, where you have such an easy schedule. Oh, God. And, fuck this timer. I don't got enough time to say this. I need more time here. But when you are a team like the Lions, you are on, like Dan Campbell says, you are going up, right? It goes up from here. You have to be able to beat those good teams. It doesn't matter AFC, NFC. It doesn't matter. It comes down to you got to beat the good teams. And that's a very big concern for me going forward. I am happy that we beat the Chiefs in week 1. That was a great win, obviously. It was without Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, which I'm reminded on a daily basis. But you lost to the Seahawks, who are arguably a very good contender, a top 5 team in the NFC. You lost now to Baltimore, who now looks like a top 2-3 AFC team. That changes weekly, of course. And it's just disheartening. It was a hard watch, but we at the same time we're 5-2 with probably, I think, a bottom 3 rest of the season schedule and difficulty. So I mean, it should be very easy to get back from this. I mean, you have a get right game against Vegas. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to win that game, especially with what's going on over there right now, with Jimmy Garoppolo out potentially again, and just with how much dysfunction there is naturally over there. Even if it's not public, there's always dysfunction going on over there. We know this. So in essence, basically in conclusion, that was ass. We aren't ass, and we will not be ass going forward. So
Humble pie.
little bit of humble pie.
It's got some humble pie.
Little bit of humble pie. I think it was needed. I would have honestly rather have lost to one of those other teams, to one of the teams we beat in that 4-game stretch, and then beat the crap out of Baltimore. I would have much rather that, honestly, because you'd still be 5-2 either way. But things should be okay. But I am a little bit concerned about how we could handle, the top cream of the crop. I mean, we still got games. The only games we really have left of real, competition in my mind. I mean, the Chargers, yes, they're always a tough out. The Saints are a tough defense, and it's at the Superdome. You have Minnesota twice, and you have Dallas. I mean, you should be able to walk through that schedule pretty easily. But again, after that win, it's a little concerning to see how you can stack up against a road win against Minnesota at the end of the year and a road game against Dallas. I mean, that's the end of the schedule is it's Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota. That's a very tough stretch. Does concern me a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. That took more than a minute, but I don't really care. I had to get it all out. So
You're good.
Yeah.
Let me advance on what you just said. He's advancing on that stat. Unless I'm wrong, Lamar Jackson's one NFC loss. Well, he didn't start this game. It was his first game ever.
What's it to the Panthers?
October 28th, 2018, against yours truly,
Oh my god.
Carolina Panthers.
I do not believe that counted. I believe
Well,
I mean, hey, shoot. I mean, good stuff. However, I think I was talking to somebody about this earlier. I believe the one loss was to the Giants last
That's
year.
fine then, yeah.
I
Well,
think
it
that's
says
what it was.
here. Yeah, it says
Which
Lamar,
is even more random.
Lamar was 4 for 5 with 46 yards and 1 touchdown in that game. He took over for Joe Flacco, who went 22 for 39, 192 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. So, yeah, it probably doesn't count, but I still wanted to flex it,
Hey, flex it all you want, man. Flex it because it's a significant win still.
Hey, who called the Ravens defeating the Lions?
You
Who
did.
was the fan,
Give you credit
even
on
as a
that one.
Steelers fan, that said this was a game that I
Nobody
could
saw
see
your hand.
Baltimore. My hand raised up here, up high. That said, like, this was a game I felt Baltimore I didn't think it would be like this, but can go out there and win. I thought it was going to be close,
Yeah,
but
good
at home. But once again, you can just see how dominant this Ravens offense can be when it's really rolling. And have Lamar and now have some targets now in Zay Flowers, and there's still Andrews. You still have Odell, Rashad Bateman. Just a very unique and clever offensive scheme I felt from Todd Monk in that game.
Yeah.
I'll give him his full flowers, even though I'm a serious fan and I want Baltimore to fail sometimes.
I'm going to elaborate on that Todd Monken point too. I am someone that did not actually like Todd Monken that hire coming into the season. You saw him in Tampa Bay with Jameis Winston, and you saw how that worked out. It didn't. And, going to college, right, and going to Georgia, winning 2 national championships, where the offense wasn't exactly the focal point. I didn't think exactly that was the greatest move to come back to the NFL. I didn't think that was a very smart move on Baltimore's part. I mean, I knew Greg Roman was a goner to begin with, but I know we're kind of drifting off to the Ravens here, but tell you what, when it push comes to shove, Todd Monken has actually done a pretty good job. I'll give him his flowers as well, because for what I expected, the first couple of weeks were a struggle. I mean, it's a new system. You got to get used to things, but they've been humming along. They're 5-2. I mean, you got to give them their flowers where it's due. And I'm going to move on because it looks like you guys are ready to as well. So,
Yeah. Well, before we move on to the rest of the games, which we'll do, while we're flexing fun facts, I have a pretty fun fact to flex on all you guys.
oh no.
Take your picks. Who do you guys think? Knapp, you're a big PFF grade guy. Who do you guys think the highest graded tight end has been this season?
Yeah, I saw this.
Minimum 100 snaps.
Johnny Smith.
I know who it is, so I'm
No.
not going to answer.
Hunter Henry.
Who?
Is he a Patriot? I was gonna say Hunter Henry.
He is a Patriot. He's not Hunter Henry.
Oh my God, is it Mike Gesicki?
Gesicki.
He's a Patriot. It's not Mike Gesicki. It's the Pharaoh Brown.
Oh my God.
Who? I don't even know who that is.
Pharaoh Brown,
Oh!
baby.
Rams legend, Pharaoh Brown.
The
That's
number 1 graded tight end in the NFL.
That's-
Pharaoh Brown.
When you first asked that, I was like, is it Sam Laporta? Because Sam Laporta
I knew it wasn't Laporta.
fantastic this year.
Yeah.
He has to be like top 5 though in PFF grade.
The top 5 is 5 is Josh Oliver, 4 is George Kittle, 3 Mercedes Lewis, then Kelsey, then Pharaoh Brown.
That's
That's
insane.
crazy.
Who
That's
on the
Kittle
season has-
probably gets a lot from his like run ball blocking, I feel.
and that's
who
the
is
same.
who is mainly a run blocker, but on the season has 2 receptions for like 90 yards and a touchdown.
Statistically a beast.
Statistically, a beast. He
That's
That's
Jameson.
insane.
Oh.
Pharaoh, baby.
Sorry, I have a breaking news.
Go for it. I know.
I just talked about him. The Steelers are opening defensive tackle Cam Hayward's 21-day practice window.
Let's go.
Great.
Come on.
Just talked about it. That's huge.
Let's
That's
go.
big. That is big.
That's
If he's not back this week, I think he could maybe be back next week.
Mitch, I thought you were gonna say Pat Surtain to the Steelers.
Oh, dude, I wish. Oh my
Okay.
God,
Lion.
I would have been celebrating across this room right now.
I was gonna spoil my pants, dude.
But yeah, Cam Hayward on his way back.
All right. On that note, shall we look at
Yes.
briefly run through the rest of last week's
Let me
games?
just run through the fantasy leaders real quick. I'm
Sure, yeah.
just gonna give names so it's a quick run through. There were no ties this week. Darren Waller was the honorable mention. Then 15th was Amon-Ra St. Brown. 14 Jalen Hurts. 13 welcome back to the list Puka Nacua. 12 Josh Downs. 11 another Josh Allen. 10 Tyreek Hill. 9 Gardner Minshew. Let's go Minshew Mania. 8 Knapp Jahmyr Gibbs as well. 7
Finally.
Alvin Kamara, the first Saint of the year to appear. 6 AJ Brown. 5 Jordan Addison. 4 Panthers legend Deontay Foreman. 3rd Mahomes. 2 Lamar and 1 Travis Kelce. And there's still no Tennessee Titans on the top fantasy list of the week. Tennessee, what are you doing? Get someone on here. Even if it's Derrick Henry or Traylon Burks. I don't know.
Hey, D-Hop, do you still prefer Ryan Tannehill to Mac Jones? Because Kendrick Bourne has been on that quite a bit.
I'm going to say this right now. I think the Tennessee Titans are in a worse spot than the New England Patriots.
One of them.
I think that is definitely that's up for debate in my opinion, but I think it's definitely something you could explore.
Because the Titans, there's like, except for Henry, you have like.
I know a
He's
Titans
like
fan who
Henry.
might agree
Yeah.
with you on that. Honestly, he might.
We have Terrell Edmonds.
Oh yeah.
Steelers legend.
Hey, it seems like he worked way better with the Steelers than with the Eagles. So that's a guy that we've lost. That they actually sucked where they went. So
And I don't know how. Go to a really good defense and just stink up the
Yeah.
joint. That's rare that a Steelers secondary player is
I don't
worse whenever he leaves. because
because we see what Kello's doing right now with the Rams.
Mike Hilton,
Mike Hill with the bang. I knew that one was going to.
that one stung whenever he left.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, so we can briefly run through last week's games, stop on the
just
interesting ones.
do final scores or something.
Jaguars beat the Saints on Thursday Night Football. I called that one. We've gone through the Steelers beating the Rams, Patriots beating the Bills, Browns barely beat the Colts.
I called that.
That was another controversial ending.
Great game though.
Big shootout.
That was a great game to watch.
39-38.
PJ Walker is him.
Myles Garrett actually wanted to play defense, and PFF probably shat themselves seeing him do all that.
that great Browns defense still giving up 38 points to the Colts. I mean,
Gardner Minshew and those
Mania.
beautiful Indiana Knights jerseys, by the way. Those
Minshew
I
Mania.
love those jerseys.
Minshew
Yeah,
Mania.
those are some interesting Colts jerseys.
I like the helmets.
I like them. They're great. They're
Imagine Anthony Richardson in those jerseys. He would have, yeah.
I think it would have been cooler if the jerseys were white and the helmets were black. I think that would have been cooler. But
It'd be interesting. I like the coolest whiteout jerseys. Like
oh yeah,
speaking of white jerseys that are nice, the Giants beat the Commanders. That's just such a weird game, 14-7. Not to make it about this, but I will give you a fun fact. Tyrod Taylor is the first black quarterback ever to win a game for the New York Giants as of last week.
Good for him.
Yeah,
For him.
for him, but it's just a little funny. I mean, Eli
Attaboy
Manning.
I think he should. I don't care how much money Daniel Jones is making. I think Tyrod should be this. I mean, he's looked.
I
He's
agree.
been able to
I have a
run the
kind of
offense
agree.
more smoothly the last 2 weeks in comparison to Daniel Jones.
And the previous week, I believe it was the previous week, Tyrod Taylor scored the first half touchdown for that team this year. They had not scored a touchdown in the first half until Tyrod Taylor did it. So yeah, good for him. Again, just because of how much they paid Daniel Jones, they probably won't even think twice about starting him when he gets back. But
No.
Tyrod's playing well.
Yeah.
We've talked about the Ravens, unless you want to stop on that game again. I think
Nope, we're good. Move on.
Bears won, Falcons won, Seahawks won,
Well, who they?
lost on the road to Denver.
Yeah.
Chiefs won with you know who in attendance. Eagles won a fun Sunday night game. I guess it was fun for one side. And those Kelly Greens are gorgeous.
The helmets are gorgeous.
That-
I'll give them that.
They even had the throwback logo on the field and everything, and on the NBC cast too, they had the throwback.
At
logo.
least the Philly fans got a win to enjoy this week before the
Oh
you
yeah.
know who
Oh, no.
happened.
Phillies.
And then Monday night, 49ers lose
again,
to the Vikings of all teams. Are the Vikings back? Question mark. I don't
I
know.
think they might be.
They
And
might be.
sucks.
Wow.
That sucks to a degree. I'm gonna
Coming
run.
from a Lions fan.
Okay,
Let me just say one thing, Knapp. I still think it's Detroit's division to lose, but
100%.
I think the Vikings may play some challenging football. That's all. But it's
Yeah,
still
I
Detroit's
100% agree. I 100% agree with that. I'm just gonna run through Minnesota. This is what Minnesota's schedule looks like rest of the year. Packers on the road, Falcons on the road, Saints at home, Broncos on the road, Bears at home, Raiders at home. Or no, Raiders on the road. I'm sorry. Bengals on the road, Lions at home, Packers at home, Lions on the road. If Jordan Love keeps playing the way he has been, and it's not been good, and you know how inconsistent the Saints and Falcons are.
Jefferson will be back.
Jefferson will be back now. I mean, it's almost. I mean, they're competitive enough that he should be able to come back. They could sneak in as a wild card, which after weeks 1 through 3, 4, 5, that was 7, right? So after week 6, I thought was improbable. And you know what's even more improbable? I was rooting for the Vikings on Monday Night Football. That was a stunner.
Yeah,
That was a stunner. And because I needed to cope hard about that loss to the Ravens, and I need to see the 49ers, someone we're competing with, lose to a lesser opponent. And that made me feel good. And I'm not worried about San Fran. I'm really not. I mean, it shows they are beatable. It raises some questions about Brock Purdy, and it makes my dislike for him before the draft justified a little more. It makes my heart happy a little bit to be right-ish. But they're going to be fine, right? I don't see them. Unless more injuries mount up, unless CMC goes out for the year, he won't. But
CMC got another touchdown. As long as he keeps doing that.
Guys, I think it's time we open up the can of worms. Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
I think I've always thought that.
I think now after that game, and once again, having Kevin O'Connell writing up the plays in the scheme for you helps a lot. But Kirk has come even without Jettis. He's come to play, and guess what? He's winning in primetime games, and he did what he needed to do. Went out there, threw 2 touchdowns. Jordan Addison looked great out there, and they got the job done against the 49ers. And I agree with that, but that's schedule coming up. They could be sitting at 5-4, and Justin Jefferson could be coming back. So they're in the thick of this. They have a favorable schedule, and yeah, don't write off Minnesota just yet.
let me also just add one more thing before we move on to maybe picks for this week. The Kirk Cousins curse is a curse that when the Vikings win, the team that they beat does not make the Super Bowl this year. So sorry, San Francisco, it is no longer your year.
Bye-bye. Detroit's year still. Detroit, unless Detroit lose in the last 3 weeks.
So to Carolina, San Francisco, Chicago, not your year.
It wasn't, no offense, Adam, it wasn't the other two's year anyway.
No, I knew that. It was never our year.
It was never Localio's year either, so.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think, what's his name? Tyler Benet is going to lead them to the promised land?
Tyson Badgett.
Or Tyson.
Listen, the more Tyson Badgett can win as many games as he won. He can win. Go ahead, win a couple more games. Get yourselves out of number one contention or pick contention. I don't care. Fine. Let Justin Fields come back. Torpedo that record back down to where it should be, back to 5-12. Just out of the range of Caleb Williams and Drake May. However, they still have Carolina's pick. So, Adam, I'm going to need the.
Do we even think he's going to go to Chicago, Caleb Williams? The way he's acting right now?
I don't know.
But
in any case, Chicago has the number one pick.
He's going to go into the draft to begin with. Like,
who knows? But I don't care about Caleb Williams right now. He's not my concern anymore. But Adam, I'm going to need Bryce Young to step up and get some wins here. I can't risk that happening.
I think he can do it.
I do too.
We'll see.
We'll see.
With that being said,
Speaking
shall
of which,
we step into week number 8 of the NFL and the picks for this week? Let's get to Thursday Night Football.
All right, let's do it.
For the first time all season, we are predicting a game that is happening tonight at the time we are recording
Yes,
this.
because we're recording on Thursday.
Yes, it is the Buccaneers and the Bills. I'm not going to overthink this one. I hate Buffalo, but I'm going with Buffalo. Not going to overthink it here.
Is Baker playing?
What do you guys say?
Yeah, this is just the kind of game Buffalo needs as a bounce back. And the Buccaneers, they're starting to worry me a little bit. I really thought they were a fun team to start the year, but they haven't been as good as they haven't been playing as well as I think they can play recently. So I don't think this is a good matchup for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here. I'm with Luke here. I mean, Tampa was I never really expected Tampa to do much beyond this. I was surprised when they even strung together 3 wins. I think Detroit broke them. Just kidding. I mean, it did expose a lot of what was there. I mean, we've seen the meme of the cycle of Baker Mayfield. Plays like underdog, plays good, hyped up, dog shit, goes a new team. I mean, we're getting close to that dog shit point, unfortunately. I like Baker Mayfield, one of my favorite, I guess, underdogs in this league, but this is a get-right game for Buffalo. I don't see it being a big blowout, but I think they do get a win here.
Yeah, I was just looking here because I knew there was like some injury concerns with Baker Mayfield and Chris Godwin, and it looks like they are going to play. I just looked up on Twitter. Tom Pelissero said they're both going to play. So I wanted to know because that will play a part in the decision. But I'm going Bills here because Baker's going to be less than 100%. One of his receivers is less than 100%. Bills are going to be hungry. We'll want to get that bad taste out of their mouth from the New England game. I'm going Bills here, but just know with all of us picking the Bills are going to find a way to F up tonight.
Dante, before you go, let me introduce Knapp to a weekly tradition of ours. Dante, are you picking the Bills?
Yes.
I thought Dante was going to pick Tampa. I thought she was going to go Tampa.
Yeah, you could have given him a little bit more of a layup pick than that for that, but
no, I do think it's going to be close.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's going to be a similar situation to the Bills and Giants game. That's what I think. I think it's going to come down to the wire, but just that home field presence. That's one thing the Bills really haven't lost, as I guess they've regressed within the past year and a half, maybe not even that long, just recently. Their fans are always humming, and home field advantage at Highmark Stadium is still very much a factor. And I think that's what wins the Bills this game. I don't know. It's just so hard to go into that environment and win. There are a few environments like that. I mean, obviously Arrowhead is the toughest, and then Highmark. It's such a hard place to play. And I think the Bills get it done here. I'm not going to overthink it. I kind of wanted to pick the Bucs, but I just can't. I'm going with the Bills.
yeah, I'm going to laugh out loud if the Bucs win. I hope the Bucs win.
Me too.
My fantasy team doesn't. I have like 4 Bills on the one team. I have Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen's still in a fine week. They
He
can be a good game.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but let's be real. I'm not expecting Tampa to put up 34 points and win a game. You know what I'm saying? It's got to temper the expectations here. I need them to have I need a big week from them, especially
After last week, I'm not gonna know what to think for a long time. But yes.
Fair enough.
Next game.
Anyways, yeah, next game. This is an interesting one.
Battle of New Jersey.
New Jersey. Jets at the Giants. Battle of MetLife.
Jedge.
Yes, for everybody who knows the
Jedge.
YTP. I'll let you guys go first. I'm kind of thinking about it.
I'm going with ZKW here. Yep. I mean, it's a layup, guys. Come on. It's a layup.
It's not.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot. I think the Jets are going to prove a lot in this game. Is Daniel Jones back? Daniel Jones, I believe, comes back this week. Am I correct? Can we confirm that real quick before I
he was limited in practice again today.
I just said that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you're right then. It's not a layup, but I think it's going to be a pretty concrete win. I think the Jets do prove a lot in this game. I think the Jets hold the Giants under. Honestly, I think they hold them to under 14 points. I think the Jets can get 20 on this defense. I like what ZKW's done. And for anyone that doesn't know, because we haven't really done this much on the show, ZKW is for Zachary Capono Wilson, the second best quarterback in the 2021 draft.
Okay.
And I'm just going on an agenda here.
Okay.
It's all
Okay. Calm down.
I'm sorry.
You want the Jets.
I do want the Jets.
You're getting there.
Give me the Jets.
This is a hard game to pick for me because these teams are so mid. But the way the Giants offensive line's been playing, I'm gonna go with the Jets because the Jets defense has been really good, getting pressure, and I feel like that's gonna be the difference in the game. And I think the Jets win this game, low scoring, but the Jets get it done.
I'd still take Davis Mills over Zach Wilson, by the way. Speaking of which, I'm going to take the Giants in this game. I'm serious, especially if Tyrod Taylor plays.
If Tyrod Taylor plays, I can see that as well. That's why I'm going into it thinking Daniel Jones is going to play, but obviously if Tyrod plays, it's going to be a tighter game.
Brian Dable is a better coach than Robert Saleh. I would take Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor over ZKW or ZKW.
Close enough.
Take Saquon over Breece Hall or Dalvin Cook.
I wouldn't go that far. Not right now. Not with the way that run game is playing, with the way the whole offense is. It's just a complete dysfunction there. I'm not buying into it, but we'll see.
I take him over Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is
everybody over Dalvin Cook, right? I mean, at this point, I think the Theo Ash agenda wins. I was with the Theo Ash agenda.
Yeah, the guy who said that he would take 40-some running backs over Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, he's right.
They called him crazy.
He's right. He was right.
I mean, he has a point. There is a point there.
That being, I'm taking the Giants in this game.
G-man.
Dante, you know your pick because I'm still thinking about it, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's ass. Give me the Giants.
I mean, let's be real here. You can root for him as much as you want because he is the face of a 14-year-old. So he's just a sweet little kid to everybody, and everybody feels bad when he throws 3 interceptions. So everybody cheers him on like he's in potty training when he makes one drive that's 7 for 9 and 78 yards. And then he plays like ass for 3 weeks, and then he plays like crap an entire game until a fourth quarter where he leads another drive where he's 11 for 13 with 64 yards. And we say, yay, look at his potential. We forget that he's just as old as any of these other guys because he hasn't hit puberty yet. So you can coddle him as much as you want. You can be as kind to him as you want and try not to hurt his feelings. But at the end of the day, he sucks. And the Jets aren't that bad of a team anymore, but I don't think Sauce Gardner is as good as he's cracked up to be. I don't think Breece Hall is as good as he's cracked up to be. And I certainly don't think the Jets are as good as they're cracked up to be. So I'm sticking with the Jets in this game. Or the Giants in this game.
I heard Jets.
I'm just getting ready if the Jets win, Knapp to take the biggest victory lap of all time.
Yeah, and the Jets very well may win, but if they do, it'll be way more about the Giants.
And it don't matter how bad Zach Wilson plays, as long as the Jets win, Knapp is gonna be like it. It's because of Zach Wilson. Even if he throws 5 picks, it'll be because of Zach Wilson.
Yeah, he can go 9 for 27 with 1 touchdown and 3 picks, and people will say, "Oh, look at his potential.
This game's going to be
Look
like
at his physical tools for the 5'11" white guy."
Someone that looks at you the way Knapp looks at Zach Wilson. That's
He hasn't looked that bad the last couple weeks. You have to give him that. He has kept onto the ball pretty well,
he
but
has, but
it's a
He's
slow.
been the worst quarterback.
It's
in the
still
league.
been abysmal.
And he
It's
gave
a
him-
progression. It's something. I'll take what I can get.
All right,
Adam,
he's gone
do we
from
buy enough time for you?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I decided to go with the New York Giants.
If the Jets win this game, we're embarrassing ourselves, boys. We're letting
Me
these
and
Jets.
Knapp are on the Jets wagon. Knapp, I swear to God, if we're wrong.
We're not gonna be wrong.
Okay.
All right, but let's move
A
on.
bet against Zach Wilson is a bet I'll take most
Yeah.
of the time.
This game, we're gonna have some fun picking. Actually, it's the Steelers, so I'll let Niche and Dante preview this one.
I'll go first since I let Dante go. Yeah. As I said earlier, it's
In
a
Pittsburgh.
very
No less.
evenly matched game. It's going to be interesting with this young offense of the Jaguars and the young defense of the Jaguars to see how the Steelers game plan against that. Can't let Josh Allen wreck this game. If you're the Steelers, Trayvon Walker is all you can't forget about him, even as underwhelming as he's been in his career right now. You can't let those two beat you on the defensive side of the ball. Then you need to stop Lawrence and Travis Etienne. Etienne, he's their red zone guy. He's going to get the touchdown. So Steelers need a game plan for that. But it's going to be a close game, probably low scoring, maybe in the low 20s. The team that wins this game, that's probably going to be what they score. But I'm going with the Steelers at home. Just feel like this is once again a game that they grind out. I hope they can get off to maybe a little bit of a faster start on offense. I want to see that continued momentum of the offense to move the ball, find run holes, make some good play calls, and just see Kenny continue to improve, take care of the ball, and that defense to hold up. And I think the Steelers will be able to do that. I have the Steelers probably like 23-20 this game, I feel. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, this game, it's going to be a defensive battle. Two teams with really good front sevens. I'm excited to watch this one. I'm excited to hopefully get our revenge against the Jaguars after the last time they were in Pittsburgh.
We don't need to talk about that. Don't need to talk about it.
But I think I'm gonna take the Steelers here. I think I don't know. I don't know why I'm picking the Steelers. I'm just more confident in them right now. I don't know. Maybe it's recency bias. I don't know.
We never know why we picked the Steelers, but hey, look at how it ends up. So
Jaguars defense is really good. However, I'm sure Knapp could vouch for me. I bet they wish they would have picked Aiden Hutchinson. But
it's still a great defense. They're young, they're fast, and I'm really excited to see how the game plan, the chess match between these two coaches, Tomlin and Doug. It's two coaches that have been around a while and know how to coach.
Yeah, is Matt Canada good at cook? I really hope so. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, give me Pittsburgh.
I'll let you guys go because I want.
Okay,
Sorry, someone
okay.
randomly decided to cut the grass outside.
So close on them.
I closed
That happens.
I can go.
Go for it, Luke.
I am going to pick the Jaguars. This game could go either way, especially in Pittsburgh.
When will he?
I'm going to be a little bit of a voice of reason. I think the Steelers last week is about playing up to their ceiling. And I don't think the Jaguars have hit that yet. The Steelers isn't up to their ceiling, but they did look much, much better than they had been. And I don't think it's going to be rapid improvement. I don't think you're going to take another huge leap this week. Whereas I think the Jaguars are continuing to just get better. They put up 31 points on a really good defense last week. Was that game in New Orleans?
Yes.
Last week?
Yes.
In another
Didn't
stadium.
they pick six too?
What'd you say?
Didn't Carr throw a pick 6 too?
Yes.
So it's a 24 spot.
Boyoseo.
Olocon.
The Jaguars defense hasn't been that bad Okay, okay, I see what you're saying. 24 points.
They put up a 24 spot. Yeah.
Travis Etienne has been incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley can't be that bad all the time. He has to have a good game eventually, hopefully. And at the end of the day, I just trust Trevor Lawrence more than I trust Kenny Pickett. I don't think that's a hot take.
No.
And
No.
I'd
It's
also
not
go as far to say as I trust Doug Peterson more than I trust Mike Tomlin. So
That's not a stretch either.
maybe not this year, but definitely not a huge stretch. So I'm just going to, I'm going to be the one to disagree here. I'm willing to be the one to disagree.
Not me or you.
You. I'm gonna be the tiebreaker because I think you're gonna take Jacksonville here.
You're right. I'm going to take Jacksonville. It's going to be close, though. I will give that credit. I'm going off my recent history knowing of the Jaguars just always somehow find a way to beat the Steelers, as far as I'm concerned. But I think it's going to be a close and exciting game. I think the Steelers are going to make it really interesting. I could see this game coming down to a field goal. And
I said 23-20.
Maybe that's where Chris Boswell makes the difference. But I just, like Luke said, I have a little more trust in Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I feel like I'd have sort of equal trust in Mike Tomlin and Doug Peterson. But when it comes down to the QB, I have more QB and running back specifically. I have more trust in the tandem of Lawrence and Etienne, the Clemson duo, than I have trust in Kenny Pickett and Najee or Jalen Warren, whichever one. So, yeah, for that reason, I will be going with a close win for the Jaguars.
All right, so I got to break a tie here, right? This is tough.
Man.
This is tough. I think the Steelers can win this game. It would be such a Steelers way to win, right? But I'm going to be the voice of reason as well. I'm sorry, boys. I'm taking the Jaguars. I think Adam and Luke both bring up great points. I think the Jaguars are a much better team. It's going to be a very low-scoring game. It's going to be a very, very frustrating game to watch. I mean, like Adam said, they do have our number historically. And like Luke said, I'm trusting Trevor Lawrence over Kenny Pickett right now. You cannot start slow in that game. Although the Jaguars, I agree with Luke as well. I think they haven't hit their ceiling yet at all. I still think they have yet to find that inner gear. And that's the reason I think the Steelers can win this game. I'm just gonna go with logic here. I'm not just gonna pick the Steelers just for the sake of picking the Steelers. I'm gonna go Jacksonville here.
Win or lose, I just want to see the Steelers offense continue to improve. I want us to win, but at the end of the day, I just want the offense to keep up their momentum because that's important. So,
all right, this next game we can keep quick because I feel like everyone's going to pick the same team. In fact, why don't we do it this way? Let me ask it this way: are we all picking Philly over Washington?
No.
Oh, hey,
really?
No.
They remember who beat them last year.
Well, I was gonna say if Philly was undefeated, that would be one thing. But
I think I'm still gonna go Philly. But once again, Washington could do it again, and I would not be shocked.
Knapp, you going Washington?
I'm gonna go Philly.
I am going to take the upset here.
You're going Sam Howell against that defensive line.
Let's not forget what he did the first game against that defensive line. They almost won that game in Philadelphia. They were very close to winning that game. That was what, week 4? They're at home this time. Is there any streaks going on? No, not even just like winning streaks. Is there any like historical streaks going on?
I don't think so. No.
Chat, clip this.
Well, fuck it. I'm going with the Commanders anyway. I think the Commanders can win this game. I'm going to go with this as my upset. I really think if Sam Howell plays the way he did in week 4, I think they can win this game. They're at home. I know Kevin Byard just got to Philadelphia in that trade, which was a fleece. It's going to take time for them to adapt. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going Washington here.
Yeah, they gave up 40 to the Bears.
I understand that. They gave up 34 to the Eagles. Was it 34?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Are the rest of us going Philly?
I'm going Philly. It may be a close one, but I think Philly.
Divisional games are tough, man. That's all I'm gonna say. That's
take it from me. Divisional games can go anyway.
Knapp, if you win from you deserve to have a field
from me and Dante, we're probably in the tightest division in football right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, next one. Another kind of layup game, I feel like, but could be close. Rams and Cowboys in Dallas. I'm just going to start by saying I love the Rams. I love Matthew Stafford. I love Cooper Kupp, and I love Puka Nacua, and I love Aaron Donald. But I'm not overthinking this one. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys at home.
Yeah, so am I. The Cowboys secondary has looked about as good as they could have hoped it has been so far. Stephon Gilmore can still play at an elite level. He's going to need to. As long as the Cowboys limit their mistakes, I don't think the Rams defense is all that impressive this year. So the Cowboys, especially at home, should be able to make this a win.
Yeah, I feel like the difference in this is defense because they're both pretty good offenses on both sides. I think the Rams fight and compete and stay in it, but the defense is gonna be the difference. Give me the Cowboys.
Dante,
This is my upset. Give me the Rams.
I can see it.
Hey, go for it.
I can see it.
Give me the Rams. I just think that 1-2 punch at wide receiver is going to be too much for the Cowboys to handle.
You got breaking.
And the Rams are running the ball. I don't know. Is
Kyron Williams?
Is he coming back? Is there a running back
Not
coming?
yet.
Not yet.
No, he's out until like week 11, something like that.
Either way, the Rams were running the ball pretty consistently against the Steelers last week. And I don't know. I just have a good feeling about this Rams team. They impressed me last week. Even though they did lose, their offense moved the ball, especially Puka Nacua. I mean, that guy is looking like a rookie. I mean, solidified rookie of the year winner.
He's a home run. That's a home run pick.
Yeah.
He's a home
So,
run.
yeah, I'm taking the Rams.
I can see it. But I have some breaking news real quick. Frank Clark has chosen his next team. He is going back to not the Kansas City Chiefs, but he's going back to the Seattle Seahawks where he started his career. And he will be their newest addition with Uchenna Nwosu going on injured reserve for the rest of the year with that torn pec. Just had to get that in.
That is an on-air as of yesterday. Well, I'll give you a half, but a ratio. I broke it in the group chat yesterday.
Did I just miss that?
He was
Yeah.
How did I miss
I feel like
that?
I saw something about that last night, but I didn't remember saying.
No, he didn't sign with them yesterday. He was on a visit.
No, he signed with them
All right.
yesterday.
Did he?
I saw. Okay, I will give you guys credit because I saw it on Bleacher Report.
Okay, it's official.
Who
Okay,
has
it's
the Bleacher
officially.
Report out?
I didn't even see it yet. So that's what I mean. So now it's official. That's some official breaking news. Okay. All right.
So I'll
So
call it
that
like
is great.
a quarter ratio, even.
Respectful. Anyways, back to the
Anyways.
picks. I'm going with the Cowboys here. Unfortunately, I want to pick the Rams as well. I want to be like Dante and pick the Rams. Defense is going to decide this. I'm not impressed with the Cowboys offense. I'm not impressed with the Cowboys at all, really. But that defense is impressive. The Rams seem to have a little bit of trouble with the Steelers last week if they keep making mistakes like that. You're going to Dallas as well. Fortunately, I got to pick the Cowboys here.
I'm glad someone picked the Rams. It's
Yeah.
fun.
I am too.
I'm glad
I
someone-
think that was a good. I can definitely see that happening too.
All right. Next up, another divisional game. Packers hosting the Vikings.
This one is
in Green Bay.
Rivalry game.
It's Minnesota for me.
Yeah, it's Minnesota for me too.
Ryan the hot hand. I'm going to say the Vikings. It's Ryan the hot hand.
Nah, I'm curious where your head's at because I feel like I'm giving this a little more thought.
I gave it some thought too. I feel like it's going to be close, but I feel like Minnesota just has good momentum right now. But going into Lambeau's tough, and I could definitely see the Packers finally pulling this out, but I'm going Vikings.
Like this,
What's that?
being an easy win for Minnesota is almost too good to be true.
This is the Vikings. We're talking about the middest franchise in NFL history. I'm going the Vikings too, though. I mean, Jordan Love has not looked good the last couple of weeks. I think the Vikings have better momentum. I agree with you there, Zach, 100%. And I just think this is going to be this is just slow inclinations, just slowly sneaking up on you. And then right at the right time, they're going to disappoint you. That's how it goes every year. That's how the middest franchises do it. Them and the Chargers both find a way to do it.
You shouldn't have the mid podcast where you just talk about.
Anyway, Luke, you're the only one left. Are you taking Green Bay?
You know, Dante's Rams pick was a little questionable. I'll take an upset of my own. I do think in Green Bay is going to play a big factor in this one. I think Minnesota, a win like this is a little bit too good to be true right now. They have to be reminded somehow that they did not start this year pretty at all. I think they've already built up enough momentum to cash in their disappointment. And I think that they'll be fine afterwards. But without Justin Jefferson, if someone can put a lid on Justin Addison, which is not who they beat, or Jordan Addison,
San Francisco last week.
49ers somehow were completely unable to stop Jordan Addison. So if Jared Alexander can get something going against him, which I believe he can, and Jordan Addison and Jordan Love can play some game managing, mistake-free football, I think that the Packers have a real shot at winning this game.
All right. Next one. Atlanta at Tennessee. And I'll start. Man, I hate doing this. Because I'm not a Falcons fan whatsoever, but I'm going with the Falcons. This, I will add, is going to be the first start of his career for Will Levis.
Is it Will Levis?
Yes.
Yes, it was announced yesterday.
Both will play. Malik is going to play too, but Levis is starting.
Malik's
What
gonna
have I
probably be
missed?
like a gadget guy. Or
Where
like
was I
Nathan
yesterday? I missed a
Lee.
lot.
It was like yesterday morning, like right after I got out of my stats class, like 9 o'clock, I think I saw it. So it was pretty early in the morning.
See,
Anyway,
like I've been missing it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I like the way the Falcons offense kind of looked last week. They held their own without Bijan Robinson playing. And now that we knew it was just a headache and he should be back this week, I think they go to 5-3 against the Titans. I hate to say it. I don't like the Falcons, but sometimes you got to give credit where credit's due. And they're looking okay. So it's also the Arthur Smith revenge game. He was a former OC for the Titans.
I'm going to jump in and pick, and I'm going to make my pick as well. This is going to be a very fun chess match between Arthur Smith and Mike Vrabel, two, former allies going at it in this game. I've had Atlanta penciled in for this win as well, I think. And now I didn't even realize Will Levis was starting because apparently that happened yesterday. Again, like I said, I've been missing a lot for some reason. I didn't realize Frank Clark was going to sign there yesterday. But who knows? I've been getting ratioed like crazy. Give me the Falcons, though. I think the Falcons are the better overall team, especially with the Titans. Just the state of what's going on over there right now. It's not looking good. I don't like Desmond Ridder by any means. But I'm taking the Falcons. It's gonna be a slugfest. It's gonna be a very boring chess match. If you like old school football, you're gonna enjoy this game.
Yeah, I can go, or anybody can go.
I'm gonna go to Falcons. The Titans are a mess right now, and that that shuffling at QB, that situation's not looking good. Mike Vrabel's a great coach, but they haven't been able to get Derrick Henry going at all. And the Falcons are playing really good football right now. It's not the prettiest, but they're getting the job done, and I think the Falcons get it done against a team that's a mess right now. So
not the prettiest, but they're getting the job well done is a great way to describe the Falcons. And I think that continues this week. I like Will Levis, but his first career start and the fact that they've already committed to playing both quarterbacks, that sounds like a disaster waiting to happen because when do you take one out? What if Will Levis is doing good? They've committed to playing both, and I just don't think that's going to work. We've seen enough of Malik Willis to know that he may as well make the switch to wide receiver. And Desmond Ridder may not be great, but he's going to be the best quarterback in this game. So as long as Bijan Robinson plays more than like 3 snaps, which is apparently a lot to ask these days, I think the Falcons are going to get a fairly easy win. But I could be wrong. The Titans are a grit and grind kind of team. I don't know.
I just want to say one thing before you go, Dante. Y'all remember when I wanted Malik Willis, number 6, to Carolina? Those were fun times.
Remember when I wanted him number 20 to the Steelers?
Yeah. You remember when he was going to Pittsburgh? That was a great time to be alive.
Thank God we have Bryce Young. But
Thank
anyway,
God
Dante.
Pick it, I guess.
Thank God we have KP.
Assuming Derrick Henry is still a Titan by Sunday, because there are many rumors going around that he could get traded. If he is still a Titan, assuming he will be, this will be the one last hurrah Derrick Henry will have with the Titans. Give me the Tennessee Titans in this game. I'm taking them, along with DeAndre Hopkins, who also could be on the move. But I did see Derrick Henry is like, it seems likely that he's going to end up to be a Baltimore Raven because they're in immense trade talks right now. But is if the compensation's not good, it's not going to happen.
Derrick Henry coming to the AFC North. Oh man,
I wouldn't be that scared about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm
The
a little,
Ravens, though.
Ravens are really run by committee.
Yeah, that's true.
But still, I was talking to Knapp just last night. I was trying to trade him. Oh, excuse me. I was trying to trade him Derrick Henry. I almost spit on my gum.
That's crazy.
And I said to him, I was like, I know you don't like Derrick Henry this year, but Derrick Henry is still Derrick Henry. Those are my exact words. So
I didn't buy it. Sorry.
and yes, he still didn't buy it. Just like I'm
It's
still
okay.
picking the Falcons. But yeah, the Titans could win this game.
All right, Luke, I'll let you preview the Pats game.
Ooh, you guys are lucky that Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert aren't pronounced out, or I might have to think twice about this one. Give me the Dolphins. They have our number. If this was let me put it this way. If we had just beaten the Dolphins at home and we were playing the Bills, I'd be picking the Patriots. And swap those team outs and I'd be picking the Patriots. But, yeah, Tua owns our poverty franchise. It's always been ugly against him. They're always ugly games on both sides of the ball. But our secondary is much more banged up than it was week 2. Our wide receiver room is much more banged up than what it was week 2. Mac Jones has gone through some really crappy games. We could be coming off the best win ever, and we practically are. But I still have to pick the Dolphins.
I'm gonna go with Miami as well. Sorry, Luke. Kind of have to, especially since they're at home.
give me the sea creatures. This game, the Dolphins.
If I could figure out how to make it on the Instagram where I'm not going to go through this much effort because I'm going to have to work hard to fit 5 names on the graphic anyways. But on our little picks graphic, I'm tempted to just write conditionally picking the Patriots if Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert are out.
Yeah. This is like a bad time to be picking this game because Raheem Mostert and Tyreek Hill's status are uncertain right now. But I expect him to play. I have Raheem Mostert in a fantasy league, so I hope that it's just monitoring his like injury and everything. But I expect him to play, so I'm going to go Dolphins.
They'll probably play and we'll probably lose, but it's not impossible. Nothing's impossible after last week.
It could be a close game though. It could be a close game. You never know.
I'm going to pick the Dolphins. I mean,
yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Knapp, Dolphins.
I'm actually gonna go Patriot. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, give me Dolphins.
Don't tease Luke like that. Oh,
sorry. even if Tyreek,
Luke, change your pick now for that. Go all in on the Patriots now.
Even if Tyreek and most are out, I'm taking the Dolphins. I still think it's the next man up committee there. Jalen Waddle he'll have a day. I mean,
wide receiver 2, Chase Claypool.
Yes. Yeah. Give me the Dolphins. Sorry, guys.
I'm dead serious. If Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert don't play, it is 50-50.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
So dead serious.
It is a fair assessment. I'm just gonna take him regardless. I have a lot of trust in Jalen Waddle as well when he has good big games like that. So we'll see what happens. We'll monitor the situation.
Because look at even when our defense is hurt, we're held to a standard. Last week against Buffalo, I had a parlay. I said Stephon Diggs under 87 yards or 87 and a half. Might have even been you, Josh. I texted it to someone and they're like, "Are you sure about Stephon Diggs?" That was the easiest pick of my life. He ended up with like 16 yards. We have a way of containing wide receivers that I think is the best in the league, but it doesn't always win us games. So,
all right, let's move on. I'll start with my pick for this game because I know who I'm going to go. We got the Saints and the Colts in Indianapolis, unless I skipped a game. But for my pick this game, I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts at home. They looked pretty good last week. Saints offense right now, I mean, they got Kamara, but it's looking kind of questionable. Pete Carmichael's getting some hate. And then who knows how their defense plays, the Saints. But I think this is a win for the Colts.
I'm gonna agree with you, Adam. Give me the Colts here.
I'll agree as well. I picked the Colts last week against the Browns. I was so close to being right that I want to pick them again, and I want to be right.
You're gonna go.
Colts. If
Wow, this is crazy.
if Matt Canada's the most hated OC in the NFL, the Saints OC is right behind them because that if you saw the signs during that Thursday night game, that's how it is in Pittsburgh times 5,000. So
That's
yeah, give me the Colts here. Yeah.
I think you guys are making this feel like an easier pick than it should be. Honestly,
I don't think it's an easy pick.
It's not.
Just-
No,
I
it's
say I
not.
don't think it's good. Just the way it sounds because everybody's picking the Colts right now.
we could all be 51-49, but I'm still picking the Colts.
Fair enough. You know what I'm gonna do? I can't even pick this game. This is such a tough game to pick because you have a great defense in the Saints. You have a very lackluster offense in New Orleans as well. I mean, it's the Steelers, the NFC version of the Steelers. You have the Colts coming off a big win. Their offense looked pretty solid. I mean, Shane Steichen's done some really good things so far for them. I don't have a pick. I'm gonna go with it. I'm just gonna, you know what? Put me down for a tie. Let's have some fun. Put me down for a tie here.
Really?
All right.
Put me down for a tie because this is the hardest game I've probably had to pick all year.
Yeah, it's very.
It is a
First
very tough
tie
game.
in WG history.
It's the battle of mid. It is going to be a low.
If he's right, you guys need to like.
Give me my flowers or
Yeah.
something. This is
right. I'll give you the password to the channel. I'll give you the password to the Instagram.
You know what? Knapp, I'll put a bet on you right now. If you are right, I will Venmo you $5.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I'm shaking on it right now. I'm
Sounds
dead
good.
serious.
$5 bet.
If you're right, I won't Venmo
If
you
you're
anything.
right, I will Venmo you $5.
If you're right, you're not getting a penny out of me. I'll give you a pat on the back.
That's how confident I am in the Colts. But hey,
I
could
think
happen.
I'm not confident at all in either team. I kind of it's kind of me throwing in the towel because I just don't know. It really could go either way. I think it's going to be a very boring game. It's going to be a very, very sluggish game. There's no intrigue on either side for me at all. I'm sorry. I love Gardner Minshew too, but that team without Anthony Richardson is a.
That's fair. Hey, if a team wins, you don't have to send me anything. But if this is
That's a no risk, high reward. I'm broke. Bet.
Colts win like 13-10. It's going to be
it'll be that type of game.
Yeah.
Speaking of a game that could be 13-10, let's move on. I'll be kind of quick. Panthers hosting the Texans. They're back from the bye. This is the first game Thomas Brown is calling the plays. Thank goodness. I've been waiting for it. I'm excited for it. They've also said Brian Burns is not up for trade. If you say that, please extend him. But if he's not coming back, trade him for a pick. Get something for him. But that's my spin on Brian Burns. Anyway, Thomas Brown said he'd love to be remembered for winning in his first game as calling the plays. I'd love that, but I'm not sure this is the week I can pick us to win. Texans offenses look solid. They're coming back fresh off a bye. CJ Stroud is going to be ready to go. I forgot to add, this is the battle of the number 1 versus number 2 pick. Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud. I hate to go against my guys. I'm going to go with the Texans in this one.
I am too. Sorry, Adam.
All good. All good, man.
Texans defense has been pretty good. I think Bryce is going to look better. I really do think it's going to be a little better. I think it's just going to be. I got to look and see who Carolina plays the next. I know they play Chicago.
You go on,
10, right?
Yes. Indiana's week 9. Not Indianapolis. While you keep going with that, I will add. I think we're going to get a win eventually. I don't think it's going to be this.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
it's going to be Chicago week 10. I'm calling it.
I hope you're right. Chicago. I really hope you're right.
Texans.
Yeah, fair.
Great.
Go ahead, Dante.
Miko Ryans has been a great coach, great culture guy there for them. CJ Stroud's been hitting there. Very young team, very good future ahead of them. They've been playing great. Give me the Texans.
For me, there's something in the water. I have a very weird, very, very strong gut feeling that this is the week. I'm picking the Panthers.
You know what, then? I'm changing my pick, too.
he said, Adam just didn't want to be the only one that picked the Panthers.
Part of the attractiveness in picking them was being alone, Adam. But okay.
Sorry, I'm picking them. Nothing you can do about it.
All right,
Wow.
I'll stick with my very strange gut feeling that suddenly has gone away.
Luke,
And-
switch. Luke, switch.
Too much
I'll pick the
chaos.
Panthers. I really do think it's straight. I just think this is the week. I think it's a little too obvious
I have my upset
to pick
pick.
the Texans here. I think that you guys have heard me talk about the Texans. I love them. I think they're great, but I don't think they're that great, and I don't think they're invincible to a loss
we
like
did.
this.
Yeah.
We do got to fly through some of these
Yeah,
games.
can
though,
we got to do like
Unfor-
rapid fire here.
almost rapid fire. Yeah, a little quicker here. Unfortunately, Zach has to leave for class
Yeah.
very soon because we're recording this.
All right, Seattle, Cleveland,
Seahawks.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Really? Okay, that's kind of surprising. I don't know.
PJ Walker starting again. I think the Seahawks are a better team. I'm not gonna. I mean,
I forgot about. All right, sorry. Mark me down for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I forgot about PJ Walker.
nothing against PJ Walker. He's won both the games he's played in, but
Bro.
Seahawks are a better team. They're wearing their throwback uniforms. It's gonna be a very good week for them.
I know who's starting. I'm sticking with Cleveland.
I think those throwbacks have been overrated. Which I'm going to throw in now because we're trying to move past things quickly, so you guys can't roast me for
The
that.
Seahawks throwbacks are overrated.
I do think that.
They're the best in the league.
I
No,
also think
Minnesota's are
so.
better.
No,
I also think Kelly
the
Greens
Adams
are
are
overrated.
better. Personally, they're so
I also think the Kelly Greens are overrated.
bingo.
Okay.
I can respect that.
Cincy San Fran.
You guys go first. I need a second to think on this one.
I know my pick. I know.
Go for it.
Second.
Give me the upset. Give me Cincy. Give me Cincy. Cincy goes into Santa Clara, and the 49ers lose their third straight.
Yeah, after hearing that, I'm just gonna go against you. Yeah, nope. I'm going with San Fran here. Doesn't matter who's starting at quarterback. I know Brock Purdy's in concussion protocol right now. It doesn't matter. I think Sam Darnold can win this game. He showed last year, even in a non-Shanahan
Sam
system.
Starting too. I forgot about that.
Not guaranteed yet, I don't think, but
It's looking like
it's looking like it right now. Correct. But it doesn't matter what system he's in. Sam Darnold's was pretty solid. He looked solid last year with Steve Wilkes under I forget whoever their OC was last year at that point. But
Ben McAdoo.
oh god, yeah, forgot about him.
Yeah.
He looked solid, and I think in the Shanahan system they really like him there. I have faith in him. I don't think the Bengals are completely figured themselves out yet. Give me San Fran.
I'm going to pick the 49ers as well. I'm cringing on my face as I pick them because I'm kind of just picking them because I can't imagine a world in which the 49ers, who I at one point said could go 17-0, win 3 in a row. But the Bengals haven't been perfect by any means. And I think Kyle Shanahan loves Sam Darnold. It's something he's been very vocal about. So I'm excited to see how it works out.
Me too.
Give me the Cincinnati Bungles in this game.
Wow.
Look at
I gotta
this.
break it
Look
down.
at the Steeler fans picking the Bengals.
That's
I
crazy.
know. I know. I just want the Niners to lose. I don't like them.
Adam,
You have a pretty strong opinionated Brock Purdy
I
narrative.
assume Adam's going with his former
Ew.
Panther Sam Darnold in this game.
You are correct, Niche. I'm going with San Fran.
All
I
right.
think regardless of who's in under center, they're getting a bounce back. It's going to be close, though, but they're getting a bounce back.
Sounds
Speaking
good.
of a game that will not be close, Chiefs at Broncos.
Give me the Chiefs.
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 Chiefs
What's-
across.
What's the streak now for the Chiefs beating the Broncos? Is
I
it
have
like
no idea, but
That's
it's a lot.
15, right? Something like that.
15, 16 straight, something like that.
Yeah,
It's gotta be
Although
plus
the
one.
harder question to answer, who's the more annoying duo? Brittany Mahomes and Taylor Swift or Russell Wilson and Sean Payton?
Brittany Mahomes, Taylor Swift.
Pretty Mahomes.
Not a
Taylor.
doubt in my
I
mind.
have to give
You
them a thought.
you guys saw what I said in the group chat when I saw that. I was like, I saw their handshake and I died of cringe. Like literally.
That wasn't that bad. It was Jackson doing that.
Oh yeah,
that-
that too. But
Uh,
even her and Tara doing
that's
that, I wanted to throw up in my mouth like
Yeah.
100 times.
But as soon as that creep joined in, yeah, that really
Yeah.
got
All right.
All right.
All right, next game, and I have a fun fact before I announce my pick. Ravens and Cardinals. Ian Rappaport says if the Ravens win, it'll be Kevin Zeitler's final win that he needs to beat every single team in the NFL.
For a guard, that's crazy.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
It's
Oh.
gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The
short.
Ravens look like a machine right now. They look
Yeah.
like the best team in that division.
Just
I don't
off
know.
the
They
legacy.
always tend to disappoint eventually. Someone will get hurt, and we'll get Tyler Huntley another Pro Bowl appearance, but I don't think that's going to happen yet. So give me the Ravens.
Ravens.
This feels like a trap game for the Ravens, but they still win. Give me Baltimore.
Spread on Baltimore is -9.5 right now. I think Arizona actually does cover that spread, but give me the
I think
Ravens.
so too.
Hollywood Brown revenge game. Give me the Ravens. I'm not taking the Colts.
But he will have a revenge game, but just lose.
So we all go
more like Ravens revenge game for Hollywood Brown doing what he did there, which was nothing.
So we're all going Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It sucks.
Sunday
but
Night
I'm gonna
Football. As Knapp calls them, Chicago Bears. And the
I have other names for them, but I'm not going to say them on here. Anyways,
Bears and Chargers. Who we going?
I'll take the Chargers. I guess. I don't know. I'm not too confident in that.
I'm not too thrilled for this game either, to be honest.
I'm not. Yeah, this could be a very good game very quickly, or it could be a very, very horrible game very quickly.
I'm going to take
I forgot to add another stat. I saw my phone will unlock here. I sent it to the group chat a few minutes ago. An interesting Justin Herbert stat. There are no active NFL QBs that have more losses than Herbert since he was drafted in 2020.
Wow.
Just an interesting stat. But that doesn't change my pick. I'm going with the Chargers. I think this is their week that they'll bounce back and get a
I'm going with Chargers as well. It's the seat's already hot there for Brandon Staley. The panic is up as well, and if they lose this game, well, I don't. You guys know what will happen if they lose this game, but I'm going to take the Chargers. Yeah, this is a get right game.
This is Buccaneers Bills Part 2. I would laugh out loud if the Bears won this game in LA, because we all know that the Chargers having home field advantage is never going to happen ever.
Bears will definitely have home field for this game.
But I can't pick the Bears. I'm sorry. It's one thing to beat the Raiders. It's a completely different thing. But then again,
It's really not.
the Raiders are above the Chargers in that division. I still have to pick the Chargers. There will come a day where I get to pick against the Chargers for an upset. Today is not the day.
Same here. Yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be a lot closer game than it appears. But oh my goodness. Phillip Rivers 2.0 is gonna win this game. That's my new nickname for Justin Herbert. That narrative is I'm about to start pushing that narrative very soon if things don't turn around.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Anyways, Knapp, why don't you preview Monday Night Football for us?
Monday Night Football. Oh my goodness. Raiders at Lions. I don't even know who's starting for the Raiders. Is it Garoppolo? Is he back? I don't know.
The Lions
I
first
don't know either.
Monday night home game since when?
2018. Since week 1 against the Jets, they got absolutely destroyed by Sam Darnold. That was Matt Patricia's first of I don't know how many fateful games. That was
Worse than Hitler.
Is this your first Monday Night home game since 18? Is that what you said?
Yep. First
Ah.
Monday night game since 18. And this is a get right game for Detroit. Vegas, I mean, the run game hasn't been moving. The pass game, that doesn't matter who it is. They're good for at least 1 or 2 turnovers in this game. Lions should, this is my lock of the week easily right here. Give me Detroit. I think they win massively. I think they're going to score 40 plus points on the Raiders. It's not going to be close. I'm ready to see Teddy Bridgewater get in there. If I don't see Teddy Bridgewater in there during the fourth quarter, I'm going to be a little disappointed at the way this game goes. So, yeah, give me the Lions.
Speaking of Matt Patricia, perhaps the scariest part of that Raiders offense right now is wide receiver 1, Patriots legend Jacoby Myers, who is in fact averaging more in fantasy than Devontae Adams.
That is crazy.
But I'm going to pick the Lions to beat the Patriots 2.0. It's going to be like Waterboy, where he imagined the face of everybody where Adam Sandler imagined the face of everybody who was making fun of him on the face of all the quarterbacks and went and sacked everyone. They're going to look across the sideline and they're going to see 20 former Patriots, and they're going to say, why don't we make this another freaking revenge game against Matt Patricia? Because why not? And the Lions are just going to, like you said, they're just going to pummel them.
Yeah, I've got a get right game for Detroit too. Any doubt anyone had about the Lions after last week is going to be shut down. The Lions are still a very good team, one of the best in the league. I think they're still winning their division. Just a reminder, I was the only one of the OG3 on WG to pick the Lions to win the NFC North this year. I am sticking by that, starting with this game.
And you two can't backtrack on your word. You're sticking with the Vikings.
Yeah, just wait. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
joking with y'all, but go ahead. Yeah, I
okay,
want to see.
Niche, your picks.
I'm going Detroit here. The Raiders QB situation right now is a mess. Probably Aiden O'Connell is going to start because Brian Hoyer was very bad. And that place is going to be rocking. Their first Monday night game since 2018. Good for them. I went against the Detroit Lions last week, and I was right, but I'm not going to do it again this week.
Thank you,
I'm
Zach.
going with Detroit, but if Detroit loses, then
Yeah, we have serious issues to talk about if we lose to the Raiders on Monday Night Football. I know. So
then I'm gonna
yeah, you won't see me for the rest of the week probably if that happens.
Dante.
I expect a breakout game from Jahmyr Gibbs in this one. Lock down the Detroit Lions.
I mean, it arguably happened last week, but yeah.
That's garbage time. That don't count.
Yeah, even more so. He's going to start out hot, and he's going to be a key contributor to this Lions offense. Give me Detroit by a mile.
Thank you, boys. Love
And
this.
those are our week 8 picks
That was fun.
with
That was a very
one
fun.
switch up and one tie
I can't
One
believe that.
and one bet.
Yeah.
Luke, you
well,
got to figure out how you're going to mark that.
if
You
if
you say?
if
got
that
to figure out how you're going to mark that on the graphic.
The tie.
That's high.
I'll just write tie.
yeah, we're due for a tie right now. We've not had a tie in the NFL in a while, so we are due for a tie.
I'll laugh. I'll laugh if that's the tie we get to.
All right, boys. Zach, we'll get you off to class here.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yes.
College student life. Yep.
Best
Thanks
of luck in
for
class, my friend.
having us on.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
Dante, will
Anytime,
this be
y'all.
out same day?
Yes, sir.
All
As
right,
soon as it's
fantastic.
over, I'm gonna
Let me
upload
know.
it.
Let me know when.
It should be around. Might set the premiere for like 3:00. So
3:00?
Perfect.
Cool. All right, y'all. We'll catch you later.
See y'all.
Adam,
Thank you.
And Luke.
thank you to Knapp and
Thank you
Nichie
guys, as
for joining
always.
us. And we'll see y'all next week.
See you.